Hey, welcome to the Enhancement Talent. I'm Eric Cornish, flying solo today, and we're going to talk some wrestling. We got two parts. Going to talk about my 10 things that I hate about the wrestling business, even though I'm a big wrestling fan. And also, we're going to hear from the folks from New Focus Wrestling who have a big show this weekend, so make sure you check out both parts. We are here in the ESPN Evansville studios, which you can check out. It's the Enhancement Talent, ESPNEvansville.com, also WKDQ.com, and of course, 1061evansville.com as well. So let's get going. Rob did his 10 things that he hates about the wrestling business, and it's my turn to do my 10 things. Of course, you know, when you love something so much, there's got to be things that you don't like. And here's my list. Let's start with number 1 here, and it is time limits. Whatever happened to the time limits? Remember, you used to have matches, and you knew that, you know, the first match would be a 15-minute time limit, and they would count it down throughout. And it kind of makes the match more intriguing because, you know, especially in title matches, because the challenger has to win that match. You know, the champion doesn't have to win. He can go the distance and keep that title. I mean, it makes for more different finishes, and I think we've seen some of the same finishes over and over again. So time limits, definitely one thing that I would bring back. Number 2 thing that I hate about wrestling these days, and it kind of goes along with that, and it also is one of Rob's, and that is the Beat the Clock Challenge. I don't know who came up with it, but why do we have to use it so often? Because there's no time limits in wrestling anymore, we have to come up with different ways to do things, and these Beat the Clock Challenges, they seem to do a whole lot. And to me, they make whoever's in the match with the featured superstar look bad. Because, I don't know, let's say one of the last ones that you had a guy like Alberto Del Rio and Dean Ambrose maybe together. And, you know, Alberto Del Rio kind of looks like a second-class person in there because it's Ambrose that is the featured guy that is trying to beat the clock. So I don't really like the Beat the Clock challenges. And they also showcase how short these TV matches really are, which is also a bad thing. Number 3. Lack of managers. Now, they've come back recently because Paul Heyman, one of the best in the business, and really over the last few years has shown that he might be one of the best of all time, as far as managers go. So I really would like to see more of those. I think Zeb Coulter's done a great job. So why not bring in a couple other guys, maybe even new guys that can be the mouthpiece for some of these acts that are just really bad on the mic. I mean, see, that's what managers were for in the first place. So I think that's a great deal. Bring back managers. I hate that there's not enough. Okay, number 4 thing that I hate, the dehumanization of referees and other talents. You know, these referees are a crucial part of every match. And back in the day, you knew your Earl Hebners and your Mike Chiodas, they were involved in storylines. Now Mike's still there, but he is just simply called the ref. He takes a bump. Nobody really cares that he took a bump and he's down for 20 minutes. Nobody's there to help him. He's just a ref. And I don't think that's right because you know, they are a crucial part to every match. A bad referee can certainly make for a bad match. So why not know who these guys are? I'm not saying they have to be in a major storyline, but why not at least tell us who they are? And you know, because hey, I've got some friends that are there too, and they are very charismatic. And I think if you care about who the referee is, then maybe that makes it more intriguing for the match. Next, replays. Oh my goodness, do I hate replays, especially on a 3-hour Raw. They're just looking to fill up time is what they're really doing because you see something happen. You see the entire thing happen. You go to a commercial break and come back. Here's what just happened. In the age of DVRs, in the age of the internet where you can go back and watch it whenever you want, in the age of the WWE Network for $9.99 a month, you don't need to see what you just saw again. You're just trying to fill up 3 hours. Maybe you should make it 2 hours again. I'm just saying. I don't need to see replays of what I just saw. Next, number 6, no help from the back. And this was never more relevant than last week on Monday Night Raw when you saw Roman Reigns in the cage against 3 guys. Okay? We've seen this kind of angle before, but here's the strange part. So you got 3-on-1 attack, which is bad enough, but now you bring down the cage, and you've got Kane, and you've got Seth Rollins, and you've got Randy Orton, and they're all beating up on Roman Reigns, and the cage comes down. So with the cage down, nobody can save Roman Reigns. but nobody even tries. Why did we even need the cage? Nobody came down to save Roman Reigns in the first place. Does he not have any friends? I doubt it. It looks like he seems to have some friends. Back in the day, think about this, the old NWA, whether it's Dusty or Sting or somebody getting beat down in the ring, every last Enhancement guy would come out to save them, whether it was Tim Horner or whether it was, Brad Armstrong. Everybody would come down because they wanted to help their hero. So all the good guys helped the good guys. Why is nobody helping Roman Reigns, or at least trying? That would make for a little more intriguing situation with the cage down and people trying to climb the cage and get in. But I just hate that. It doesn't happen unless it's to set up a 6-man tag for like a SmackDown main event. And of course, then you've got the music's got to come on, and then they've got to make their entrance. It seems so outlandish to do all that. Why not just send a bunch of people down in their street clothes and try to help? I hate that there's no help from the back. Okay, number 7, non-fans, and I should have kept this to last, but wrestling fans, you know what I'm talking about. Non-fans that will come up and tell you, hey, it's fake, right? Oh my goodness. The more I hear people talking about Sons of Anarchy and their other favorite shows like, Walking Dead and things like that, when they're talking about their show, I don't watch either one of those shows, but I'm sure they're wonderful programming. I don't listen to people talk about them and then go, that's fake, right? Yes. I mean, we all know it's entertainment. We know that. You're not it's insulting that you think that's insulting to us by saying it's fake. We get it. We're in on it. Listen to us talk here, and we're in on it. So, you don't have to tell us that. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. It's all good. Just leave us alone. Number 8, non-title matches. Non-title matches are good in some aspects, but it's almost a given now in a non-title match, especially with the Intercontinental and Tag Team titles. If it's a non-title match, the non-champion is going to win. I mean, it makes the champion look so bad. You can have non-title matches, but do we have to beat the champion multiple times before we have the blow-off match and then, and do whatever? I don't think that's necessary. Whatever happened to building up with other guys along the way and working your way up the line to face the champion in a title match? Non-title matches get way old for me. All right, how about insulting our intelligence? Okay, wrestling fans generally are pretty smart and have followed the business for quite a long time. So, to insult our intelligence by changing somebody's character, or giving them a new name, or pretending that we've never seen them before, it's kind of insulting to our intelligence. Now, sometimes it works out, and I will say that. Bray Wyatt, key example. Bray Wyatt really worked out from Husky Harris. But I will say that some of these guys that have quite a bit of notoriety on the indies that are coming in now. Not everybody in the WWE, not all the fans know people like Kevin Steen and Kenta that are coming in now through NXT. But what I've heard is that they're going to try to keep those characters with what brought them to the dance, and even their name, because as you see, Kenta is keeping his name as they've publicized. So that's good. I'm glad that they're kind of transitioning away from that. Even Daniel Bryan, I'm okay with his name being Daniel Bryan, even though his name is Bryan Danielson. It's close enough to the original name, and you're still investing in your intellectual properties if you're WWE. So I'm not a fan of changing everything about somebody as they come in. So quit insulting our intelligence. We know who these people are, for real. And number 10, and we're going to get serious on this one. I put this one last because of recent events, and that is young wrestlers dying. That's what I hate about the business. I don't know how you change it. I don't know that you do, because it's the same. It's not just wrestling, but it's in any walk of life. I mean, we saw Robin Williams earlier this year, in his bout of depression, and this week we've seen Sean O'Hare, who he didn't have a huge run in wrestling, but he had a lot of potential. He came through the WCW system, the power plant, and to be honest with you, was pushed pretty hard and too soon, I do believe. So by the time WCW shut down and he made it to the WWE, again, had a great look, could do a couple cool moves, but he wasn't ready for the WWE system, so he had to go back down and prepare and come back, and he still wasn't ready. and for that reason, he ended up out of the business at a very young age. So at 43, and I don't know what else surrounds the situation, but apparent suicide, he's taken his life this week. I think WWE has done a good job to help its former wrestlers, but I think there's still more work to be done. And honestly, I think one of the worst things is that WWE is so much of a monopoly at this point that once those wrestlers lose that opportunity to be on that roster, they think there's nothing else, and really there's not right now. And so if that's their only dream is to be a pro wrestler, then they're kind of left with nothing. And I'd really like to see that change. That's one of the bad things about WWE being the monster that it is that once you're not there, there's not much else for you. So best thoughts and prayers out to Sean O'Hare's family, and here's to more wrestlers making it longer and trying to find another dream if they can't make it in wrestling. So that's my list, my top 10 of things I hate about wrestling. Check out part 2 with the folks from New Focus Wrestling coming up next right here on the Enhancement.